mysterious, serious tone. Genesis chapter 6 describes a population explosion marked by an unsettling event, the sons of God, interpreted as evil spirits, mixing with the daughters of men. This union produced the Nephilim. These were the heroes of the ancient world, but their existence signaled a terminal corruption of the human bloodline. The text defines this era as one where the internal world of man became entirely flesh. Every thought and inclination was consumed by evil. This third fall represented a systemic infection of human nature. The world reached a state of decay that could no longer be repaired through standard means. God's reaction is one of profound grief. He regrets the creation of humanity and issues a total verdict: the erasure of man, beast, and bird from the face of the earth. Amidst this collapse, Noah stands alone. He finds grace in God's eyes as a righteous man who walks in close fellowship with his Creator. Noah's assignment is purely constructive. He is tasked with building a precise vessel to survive the coming judgment, moving his focus entirely toward the survival of the life he carries within. Building the ark was a deliberate act of physical separation from a world marked for destruction. The architectural requirements emphasize absolute, total isolation. God specifies gopher wood, sealed inside and out with pitch, to create a barrier that no external force can penetrate. The vessel measures exactly 300 cubits long and 50 cubits wide, divided into 3 distinct floors. The most striking feature is a solitary window at the top. The solid walls intentionally prevent those inside from seeing the world unmade around them. Entering this sealed environment required absolute blind obedience. Once the family and the animals were inside, the text notes that God himself shut the door. The design of the ark forced its inhabitants to look only one way, upward. It transformed the vessel from a simple boat into a sanctuary of forced perspective. The flood arrives through a simultaneous rupture of the earth and the heavens. Subterranean fountains burst upward, while torrential rain falls from above. The water functions as a global eraser. It systematically suffocates all life and removes the flesh from the dry land. This graph shows the central paradox of the narrative. The rising blue floodline represents destruction, yet as it dissolves the corrupted flesh below, it pushes the ark higher. The very water that destroys the world is what saves the inhabitants of the ark. For 150 days, the ark exists in 2 states. To the outside, it is a sealed tomb amidst a graveyard. To those inside, it is a womb, protecting the seeds of a new creation. The flood was not just a punishment, but a necessary cleansing to physically sever humanity from its terminal disease. When the ark finally comes to rest on the mountains of Ararat, the narrative shifts into the theme of resurrection. To test the state of the world below, Noah releases a raven. The raven flies back and forth, surviving by feeding on the floating carcasses of the judged world. It finds its sustenance in death. Because it is content to thrive in a graveyard, the raven represents the fleshly man, a nature that is fundamentally comfortable in a corrupt and judged environment. Noah then releases a dove to see if the life of the world has truly returned. The dove cannot find rest among the remains of the old world and returns to the ark. It only stays away once it finds a fresh olive leaf, tangible proof of new growth. This dependence on fresh life identifies the dove with the spiritual man, a nature that rejects the dead remnants of the past and can only be sustained by a new creation. As the earth dries, God commands Noah's family and the animals to exit. They step out into a world that has been violently washed and left entirely empty. Noah's first act in this new world is to build an altar. Before providing for his family's physical needs, he prioritizes a sacrifice to God. This sacrifice of clean animals functions as a substitute, a life given to bridge the gap between a fallen humanity and a holy God. This pattern of substitutionary death is what links Noah's altar directly to the later event of the cross. God responds to the soothing aroma of this sacrifice by promising never to destroy the earth again, establishing the permanent rhythms of the seasons and the days. The story of the ark is a blueprint for spiritual transformation. It suggests that true resurrection requires the death of the old nature and a passage through judgment to reach a life devoted entirely to God.